Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden, and before we dive in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a fellow gardening friend. Okay, we're in the front yard. Not gonna lie, it's been a while since I've really been out in the garden. It is brutally hot even though it's morning. I think like it's 92 and it feels like 100 already, so a little rough, but I really just want to go through the front garden, around the side, and do some work, some cleanup work. And I think we're going to start with some really sad impatiens on the front porch. Let me show you. Okay, so I've got my impatiens over here, and they were literally beautiful a couple of weeks ago. Absolutely gorgeous, but they have gotten really bad spider mites now. So I want to cut them back and see if we can't get the plant to revamp itself. Now, in all actuality, we're not that far off from redoing these containers for fall anyway. So I'm not like super stressed about it, but I don't want to look at how scraggly these are anymore. I'm not going to go in and treat them, anything like that. Like I said, we're not that far off from redoing a lot of these planters anyway for fall. So I don't really want to waste any product. I wonder how far I'll get today with my phone before it overheats. It's a real struggle. It's been a while since I've had gardening gloves on and it feels weird. I've been working on props for the marching band, and so that has been my mornings. I spent a lot of mornings doing that lately. And we've been carving these giant brains out of styrofoam, and they're kind of glorious. And I did love the process. It's hard. The process is hard. But that was taking up most of my mornings because we were working in an warehouse with no AC. And so I was going in the mornings instead of getting out in the garden. This all has spider mites too. These all look so good for so long. I'm going to try not to be disappointed that they're struggling right now, because truthfully, there's a lot struggling right now. It's kind of just the nature of the time of the year. So it is what it is. Now I will say my vincas are really coming into play now with the worst of the heat. God, that was a big root. But we do have some things that need to be cut back. Specifically these calamintha. One set's doing really good, but this set not really well. This is Blue Marvelette calamintha that I grew from seed. I get a lot of people asking why we should weed our gardens and clean up our gardens, and it is really easy just to leave the weeds and not stress about it. But truthfully, weeds compete with your flowers for water and nutrients, especially during critical times like this summer heat. So it's so important that I get out there and I clear out even the little bitty weeds. Get all this cleared up and cleaned out. You can use a hori-hori knife, you can use a hand weeder, a garden fork. I have been using quite a bit today. I was just using my hands and it felt really, really good to go about that. One thing I can't believe is how well this, let's see, Pinkadot phlox is doing. It has never done this well ever for me. And it's just blooming its little head off over and over and over and over again. Very happy with it. All right, back here I have a lobelia. That's looking pretty rough. Oh no, everything's looking really dry. I probably need to check my irrigation and make sure it's all doing okay. Okay, this section has had its share of struggles. First of all, I got some random celosia coming up. Also got some peach mesa gaillardia that has basically succumbed, it looks like, to spider mites. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all of that. I grew those from seed. I've really struggled with gaillardia. I think I just need to not grow it for a little while. It's another one. And it's a native. It's supposed to do really well in my area. And it just doesn't. Okay, now I do have some mums right here. And hold on, let me trim this coleus. So I'm going to go pretty low on this coleus. Get it cut back because it's trying to bloom. So I do have this mum right here. And it looks like I have some of the maidenhair fern trying to come forward. So we'll pull a bunch of that out. Just try to clean up this space a little bit. And you can see that these bushes that had been defoliated by some sort of insect have come back to life. They're looking really pretty. Okay, so I have this mum right here. I need to give it a little bit of a trim. I think I'm going to use the, what do you call it? My little battery operated hedge trimmer, I think would be good. Okay, I've got my Ryobi battery operated hedge trimmer. I'm just going to take about 2 to 3 inches off the top of this. Okay, that looks better. Got off a lot of the dried blooms, dead blooms. I do not expect for this to give me another round this year. I am late cutting these. These really should have been cut around the 4th of July. But here we are. Got it cleaned up at least. So at least it'll be a pretty green. Got a lot of the dead blooms off. It should work out great. And maybe it'll give me a really late bloom cycle like in November or something. All right. So this section's looking rough. Had a lot of Aloha Blue Azuratum that was right here. And a lot of it has died. So I'm just going to rip. Truthfully, it's all coming out. Even the ones that look kind of okay. We'll just pull them out and we'll be ready and set for the fall. And this definitely is not the time of year that I'm like trying to plant stuff. And this is where, if it's not flourishing, it's getting pulled, and then we're just waiting. Now, if your ground is really dry and compacted, one of the best things you can do to help out with weeding is to go ahead and just moisten everything down. Get your garden hose out, soak the earth, and kind of get everything nice and moist, and then it's way easier to pull up weeds. I will say mine's a little bit moist, but a lot of these weeds are just straight roots, so it's pretty easy to pull up. I did not get out my fork and like really go after some of the weeds, but I did get quite a few. I would say probably got 90% of everything after going through all of this. I probably could have done better and done 100%, but y'all, it was way too stinking hot to do that. Okay, I have some coleus. So I believe this is a con coleus red, but I could be wrong. And we're gonna take it down quite a ways. It's gonna look a little harsh. but it's trying to bloom, or it already is blooming in all actuality. We don't really want it doing that right now, but this should perk back up and fill in really nicely. And I'm just cutting above a set of 2 leaves. And it should send off double the shoots that I'm cutting off. A lot of it got really stretched out because back here I had my limelight coleus, which has already been cut back for this season, if you missed that. It had to fight the limelight hydrangea for light. Did I say limelight coleus? Now, coleus is grown primarily for foliage, not for blooms, and allowing them to bloom can reduce leaf production and lead to leggier, weaker plants. So really going through and cutting out the blooms like what I'm doing is really going to get these really nice and set for the fall. Everywhere I make a cut, I should get at least 2 shoots coming from there. And these still look really nice. Typically when I cut them back like this, they'll get a little bit of sun scalding and damage because they don't have those top leaves to protect the under leaves. So I typically see a little bit of that, but within about 4 weeks, we'll see a nice production of new, fresh foliage that'll look absolutely beautiful for the fall. All right, this is going to be rough because I'm feeling really bold here. And I want to go ahead and start envisioning for the fall. So we're going to pull out the Dusty Miller. It's been here a while. Because it was winter, spring, and most of summer. And I do imagine that this right here will be a massive drift, a beautiful fall colored coleus. Oh. How gorgeous are these tattoo vincas that I grew from seed in front? I'm obsessed with them. Okay, the amount of weeds that was back behind this coleus. It's insanity. Now there are some perennials that care as well, but let's pull some of this stuff up. Now going back to that Dusty Miller that I just pulled up, I know that's heartbreaking to see, but it's done really great. I planted it in the winter, it overwintered and gave me color throughout the winter, it gave me color through spring, and obviously it's giving me color through most of the summer. But once you get up close to it, you can see that it's very tired. The leaves are just exhausted looking, parched looking, and it's not part of my design plan for the fall. Now, Dusty Miller can act as a perennial in warmer zones like my own, so theoretically I could have just cut it back a little bit, trimmed it up, and allowed it to give a new flush of leaves or something along those lines, and pretty much kept it in my garden year round. However, at this point I just really wanted to pull it. I didn't want that silvery gray tone in the fall garden, and I'm already here and I'm hot and I'm exhausted and I'm nice and dirty and all that good stuff, so it seemed like the best time to just go ahead and rip it all out. I do have some coreopsis in the back here that I'm going to cut back. Oh no, I just cut a drip line. Okay, so I guess we're fixing a drip line too. So I accidentally cut a drip line back here. All I'm going to do is where the cut is, cut out a space of it, and then insert a straight line coupler to put it back together. Okay, I actually really like how things are going over here. I really think that my hibiscus is getting to the end. I'm going to trim off some of these not so great looking tops because they are also getting spider mites. Everything's getting spider mites. And this may be the end of my blooms because I'm doing this. That's okay. Okay, the Texas rock rose is doing beautifully. You can see it is going bonkers, but it's going so far bonkers that it's taking over. So we're going to give it a cut back too, just so that we can stop suffocating the plants in front of it. Now, if you want a very hardy perennial that is going to just blast its way through the hottest parts of the summer and give you a nice, beautiful, gorgeous color, it is definitely a Texas rock rose. Now, this is a wild plant, so it's not really meant to be maintained in like a nice, pristine, clean way. But if you like cottage gardening, this works great. I've also got some dahlias that are struggling over here. And I think I'm going to cut them down to the ground. Then I'm just going to get down low and start pulling weeds. And pruning where I need to prune. And there's grass. Always Bermuda grass. Now, cutting back or pruning back dahlias in this heavy, ridiculous heat and humidity is actually really helpful for the plant. I got some early spring blooms, but typically I get most of my dahlia blooms in the fall. So these were leggy and dry and looking just terrible. And going in and just cutting them down will help the plant to rejuvenate and hopefully put off some really great blooms for the fall. Typically, I cut back down to a leaf node or a side branch that's about 12 to 18 inches above the ground, unless the stalk is completely dead. And if the stalk is completely dead, I just cut it all the way to the ground like these you're seeing right there. They just don't look good at all. And I will say that this dahlia already has some fresh shoots coming off of it, which is really exciting. So who knows? We'll see. At least the foliage will look pretty, even if I don't get any new blooms for the fall. Okay, looks good. This is what happens to my garden in the summer. As we go along, it gets more and more bare until the heat finally breaks and we can start planting fall plants. And boy, do I have a grow room full of plants ready for fall, which I'm really excited about. And I did go ahead and get some work done by pulling up that azuratum and that decimiller, making room for fall planting. And I know that was harsh to see, but God, it felt good. It felt really good. I am exhausted. That was a whole lot of work. Obsessed with these tattoo vincas. Aren't they lovely? And I'll be leaving them in for the fall for obvious reasons. All cleaned up around the front. It's really nice to have those dahlias cleaned up. I think I'm going to work my way down the side garden maybe tomorrow or the next day. Feeling good? My feet are a little dirty. I ended up having to take my flip-flops off because it is so moist because of the morning dew and humidity. I was slipping everywhere in the flip-flops, so I need to just go barefooted. Hope this shows you that those of you who are in North Texas Zone 8 are hotter. It's not all hunky-dory right now. It's hot, it's humid, but we don't have any rain. Things are dying like crazy. It just is what it is. I will say my garden has lasted longer than it's ever lasted in the past. So I'm okay if it's time to start pulling some things out. I will start planting for the fall probably in mid-September, and that will give me a full 2 months of enjoyment prior to extreme frost. Truthfully, it'll give me almost 3 months before extreme frost comes in. If we get a little bit of a cool break right after Labor Day, I might go ahead and plant then too. But it's feeling really good. I can't believe that's only a couple weeks off. That's crazy. All right, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I am in dire need of a shower and a nap. It was a lot. Be careful out there. It's hot. It's brutal. Don't overdo it. Feel like I might have overdone it a little bit. So I bet I'm going to be out for the rest of the day. It's okay. It felt good to get out there, pull some plants, see what's going on in the garden, observe what's happening. It felt really, really nice. As always, make sure you like and comment on the video. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow the video and my channel so much. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just drop me an emoji below, letting me know that you made it to the end of the video and you say hi. And be sure to check me out in my Patreon community. The link is in the video description below. It is all things gardening, all things She's Mad Gardener. Just a group of people that we like to hang out and talk about our gardens. It's lovely, it's nice, it's private, it's intimate, it's great. Really, really enjoy it. If you're interested, there is a free tier you can join in under, and there are additional paid tiers. The higher up you are in the tiers, the more access you get, including exclusive videos, as well as group chats and photo sharing. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.